ATL.GA faithful, my people. I'm the Douglas Carter back on the scene doing my thing, and I just want to say I appreciate you and the work that you do. Man, got a lot to talk about. I'm feeling a little heated with my Atlanta Falcons. We're going to go over some things. We're going to chop it up. I'm going to go over the roster, all the players that we still have on the roster. The roster looks crazy. And then I'm going to break down who I think is going to be starting where on the roster. Okay, we'll go over some more free agent signings and touch on a couple other things, what some other teams doing. Before I get into the breakdown of the Atlanta Falcons, I want to touch on the Atlanta Hawks real quick. I go by ATL.GA faithful because I have faith in my teams, okay? I have faith in my teams. The Atlanta Hawks are a lot like the Falcons, where sometimes you just don't know what to say. They come out and they beat the Golden State Warriors. Now, granted, Golden State wasn't all the way healthy. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry had an off night shooting. Draymond Green did not play. And the Hawks, they were getting blown out. They came back and they had a comfortable lead. Then they let the Warriors come back at the end of the game. Trey pokes it out on Steph Curry, makes a nice steal, gets a breakaway layup, showboats before he makes the layup. The Hawks win. So everybody's like, okay, yeah. Then they play the Spurs tonight, and we're up by 24 points against the San Antonio Spurs, who I think are like 18-52. And the Hawks end up losing the game by like 10 points or something stupid like that. Something ain't right with the Hawks. I have faith in them. I believe they can turn it around, but something ain't right. We need to get that fixed. Braves, Braves are going to do their thing. It's spring training, and I'm cool with the Braves. I don't got to worry about the Braves. Thank you, Atlanta Braves. Atlanta United. Don't really keep up with soccer, but they're one of my squads. So they're undefeated, I believe. They just mollywopped, I think it was like Portland or something, 5-1 in a soccer game. That's a mollywop. Oh, man. Anyway. All right. We know, Georgia Days, Bulldogs. We know everything that's going on with them. We're going to get into the Falcons right now, and I'm also going to show how we can fill the spots that we haven't filled yet with another mock draft at the end of the video. So please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Hey, help my channel out, man. I don't got a lot of time to promote my channel or push my channel or anything like that. And I don't do this to try to be the top Atlanta Falcons content creator. I just do this because I love my squads and I love chopping it up with my people. So please hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, whatever. Let's chop it up. I'm going to start doing some lives at some point in time, but my life is hectic and I try to get on here when I can. Anyway, let me just grab this yellow notepad I've been jotting down, so y'all might see me looking at this because I had to write this stuff down. We'll start off with our offense. Quarterbacks. We got Taylor Heineke, Desmond Ridder, and Logan Whiteside right now, Woodside. But why does it matter? It doesn't. Taylor Heineke, Desmond Ridder, interesting. I like Taylor Heineke. When I hear him speak, I like him even more. Everybody in Washington loved Taylor Heineke. Not sure why they didn't just let him be the starter and roll with him. So that gives you like a moment to pause and wonder why. But he's from Atlanta. So I think he was saying he's just like 7 minutes from Flowery Branch. He grew up in Swanee, I believe he said. So anyway, I think he's a leader. I like Taylor Heineke. Is he our franchise quarterback? No, I don't think so. Desmond Ridder is supposed to be that guy, and I like Ridder. I mocked Ridder in drafts last year. I was hoping we would get Ritter. I thought he was the best quarterback in the draft. We got him in the 3rd round. He showed a little bit in 4 games. He showed that he don't buckle under pressure. He shows that he has poise. He shows that he can lead our team down the field in the 4th quarter against our most heated rival in his first start. That's what I want to see. So I'm hoping Desmond Ritter wins the job. We can squash all the other hypotheticals about a quarterback coming because it's Ritter and Heineke. I was watching Big Low Country Sports when they did the NFC roundtable. I don't know what happened to the Yucks dude, but keep pounding. The Panthers guys was in there. Pound for Pound Nation. If I got the name wrong, that's my bad, but they were in there. And of course, Big Q, New Orleans, that team down there in the, I forget what their stadium is, but nothing but respect to Big Q, nothing but respect to the Panthers guys that's on there. Their name escaped me right now, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And Big Low Country Sports is on there, chopping it up. Let's see, the Panthers, I just saw that they signed Adam Thielen, the wide receiver from Minnesota, to like a 3-year deal. Kind of heated because I just saw Gardner Johnson from the Eagles, the guy that I wanted. He signed with the Lions, the Detroit Lions, a 1-year deal for $8 million. And I'm just wondering why we couldn't do that. Or did we try and he just didn't want to come here or whatever? I mean, I know we got Jesse Bates, and Jesse Bates is a baller, and I'm cool with that. But the Lions, y'all watch out for the Detroit Lions, man. I think they're going to win the NFC North. I think they're about to do big things. Anyway, we, the Atlanta Falcons, had another signing. I know I'm all over the place, man. I got 1,000 miles per hour right here. We signed a wide receiver from the Raiders again, which kind of got me heated. The dude's 29. His name's Mac Hollins. Okay, he had a decent year last year, about 700 yards, 4 touchdowns. I'm going off the top. A lot of times I freestyle, sometimes I write notes, but right now I'm going off the top. I think he's like 6'4", 221 pounds or something like that when I looked him up. So he's another big, tall receiver. Not the fastest guy, but he could be a nice addition. You know what I'm saying? So nothing spectacular. I need Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot to get us a smaller, faster guy to kind of have a ace in the hole, if you want to call it that, a changeup. You know what I'm saying? Like you got fastball, 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 fastball. You need a changeup, and I want it to be that, that small scat back guy. And I'm gonna show you who I picked to be that in the draft, and we can address it in the draft. Anyway, going back to our roster, some of this stuff is crazy, y'all. I know there's going to be a lot of moves left to be made and the roster cuts and la la la. This is just the first look at it, so here we go. So, we touched on the quarterbacks. Desmond Ritter, he's our guy. Roll with him unless he can't, and then Heineke's going to have to jump in, and that's where we are right now. Other quarterbacks in our division, probably going to be C.J. Stroud with the Panthers. It is Derek Carr with the Aints. Did I say Panthers? I meant Kitty Cats, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And then with the Yucks, they got Baker Mayfield with the Yucks. Okay, so nothing really scares me, but it is going to be competitive. Our running backs, we got Tyler Algier. Hopefully Caleb Huntley comes back healthy. We got Cordero Patterson. Cordero Patterson is 32, y'all. He's still a baller, but we have to watch his play counts and his carries and stuff like that. Maybe they'll use him more as like a wide receiver. And then we got some guy, BJ Baylor. I'm not sure who he is. He's 24. And then some other guy, Clint Rakovich. But these guys might be cut candidates. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Algier will be our workhorse. Fullback, Keith Smith, bring him back. He's 30. He's been in the league for 9 years, but he's a solid vet, and I like him at fullback. Now, this is where it gets a little scary, y'all. Our wide receivers right now, I'm going to read them off to you. Josh Ali, 24. Don't know who he is. Jared Bernhardt, he's 25. He showed a little bit of promise, but we don't know about him. Demir Bird, he's 30. We know what he is. We've seen what he did. I'm not excited. Got a question mark by him. Frank Darby, he's 25. We've been waiting for him to break through. Man, I'm trying to think of, Smitty Smith Sports Machine. Man, he had a guy that really wanted Frank Darby. I hadn't heard from him in a while. He was a content creator. Man. Hold up. It's gonna come to me. Oh man. Jazzy Jeff, real talk. Think it's Jazzy Jeff, real talk, no gimmicks. If you out there, man, I hope you're doing all right. He wanted Frank Darby to make it bad. We'll see what Darby does. You got a guy, Rashawn Henry, he's 25, don't know who he is. Cardero Hodge, he's 28. I mean, Drake London, okay, he's 21. You know we're going to roll with Drake London as our number one wide receiver, right? And then we got Olamide Zaccheaus, OZ. You know what I'm saying? He's still only 25. I say we should keep him because, he's like a young vet now and he knows our system. So really, it's Drake London and OZ. Everybody else is like, what we going to do? I mean, we got Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. Are they going to use Kyle Pitts as more wide receiver? Jonnu Smith, he's got to be out there because he's good. He's a good tight end. So this is another crazy thing. Our tight ends, bro. We got so many tight ends on the roster right now. I know a bunch of them's going to get kicked out. Not kicked out, but cut, released, whatever you want to call it. Anthony Firkser, 28. Tucker Fisk, 24. John Fitzpatrick, 23. Drafted him out of UGA last year, so I'm thinking he's going to stay. Felipe Franks, Parker Hesse, he's 27. He might stay. Kyle Pitts, we know the unicorn, 22, should be back healthy, running beast mode this year. Michael Pruitt, he's 30. I like Michael Pruitt. I would want to keep him. Then we got John Rain, who's bounced up and down from the practice squad, and here and there, he's 24, but I don't see him making this cut because we got Jonnu Smith, and he's going to stay. He's 27, and he's ready to ball. He's ready to play. So I got Jonnu Smith, Michael Pruitt, Kyle Pitts, and then I'm guessing, John Fitzpatrick and either Parker Hesse and Anthony Firkser. We'll see how they move them in and out of the practice squad or, however they want to do that. So we're good at tight end, okay? Wide receiver, not so much. Running back, we're pretty good at running back, with Algier and Patterson. And Huntley if he comes back healthy. Quarterback, we're decent right there. Offensive line. We're almost right where we need to be on our offensive line. I got a plan for the draft for that as well. But our center, Drew Dahlman and Matt Hennessy. I think Drew Dahlman has the job. They were talking about maybe kicking Matt Hennessy to that left guard position, but I don't know. We got Jonathan Harrison. He's like a backup center. He's 31. Colby Gossett played some guard for us last year. He's 27. Kyle Hinton, he's 25. I believe he had signed like a futures contract. Maybe we see Kyle Hinton. I think I heard D-Led say that that's who they were going to roll with. I don't know if I'm 100% on that. I don't know about that. Jermaine Ifedi, he's 28. Okay, then we got Chris Lindstrom, linchpin. Jalen Mayfield, got to go. Ryan Newsiel, he's 25. Justin Schaefer, the guy from UGA, 24. So I'm rooting for all my Georgia guys. At tackle, we got Chuma Edoga, Jake Matthews, linchpin. Caleb McGarry, linchpin. Tyler Vrabel, son of Mike Vrabel, he's 22. He's like practice squad guy. And then Elijah Wilkinson. So it would be nice to have another solid starting guard. I'm thinking they're going to plug Elijah Wilkinson in there, but it could be Matt Hennessy. So my 11-man lineup, in my opinion, like what I could do to put 11 players on the field on our offense and have the best players, in my opinion, on the field goes like this. Drew Dahlman at center. Chris Lindstrom, right guard. Caleb McGarry, right tackle. Elijah Wilkinson or Matt Hennessy at left guard. Jake Matthews at left tackle. Then I got Jonnu Smith on the left side tight end, or right side, whichever way you want to do it, and Kyle Pitts. So Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith on opposite sides. Then you got Drake London out wide, and either OZ out wide or CP out wide. Desmond Ridder at quarterback and Tyler Algier. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things, mix and match things, formations and stuff like that we can do, but we need wide receiver help, y'all. Hey, I'm trying to spit this out as quick as I can to make this video as informative and as quick as I can for y'all, so just stay with me. We're going to roll on to the defense right now. Defensive end, this is who they got listed. Amani Bledsoe, never heard of him, he's 25. Arnold Ebiketie, AK, he's 24. You're going to have to put him work this year. And then they got Grady Jarrett listed as a defensive end, 29. I think he'll be 30 this year. Defensive tackle, Jalen Dalton, 25. Matt Dickerson, 27. Taquan Graham, 24. Timmy Horn, 25. Jaleel Johnson, 28. David Onyemata, he's 30. Vincent Taylor, I don't know what the deal is with him. He's 29. He was going to start for us, I think, last year, but got injured. We'll see where they go with that. So, who I got circled on here is, AK, Grady Jarrett, Taquan Graham, David Onyemata, and, that's our defensive end, defensive tackle. Now, they have these guys listed as linebackers, and I will just tell you this: we have so many linebackers, it's ridiculous. We have a lot of linebackers that are like 6'1", 6'2", up to like 6'4", and between 220 and 250. We really don't have a defensive end. We just have like a bunch of outside linebacker edge rushers. I mean, we have some guys that are close, like borderline defensive ends, but not a true defensive end, in my opinion. And we'll talk about that more later. But linebackers, let me just count these for y'all. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 linebackers on the roster right now. So that ain't gonna hold up. People are gonna get let go. But who we got so far? And I don't even think, okay, yeah, Tay Davis is on there. Okay, so we got Troy Anderson. We know he's a baller. He's 23. David Anani, I don't know who that is. He's 23. Quentin Bell, he's all right. He's 26. Okay, Lorenzo Carter, 27. And when I'm saying these numbers, that's how old they are, just in case y'all missed it. Tay Davis, we signed him. He's like a special teamer. He's not a starter or anything. He's 26. Caden Ellis could be a starter. He started his first season last year for the Aints, and I like Caden Ellis. Again, he's 27 years old. Dorian Etheridge, I know Smitty really liked him. I really like Dorian Etheridge. He's 24. He's had some problems with injuries. Maybe this is the year he could show something. But it's a long list. Rashad Evans, I don't know if we're gonna sign him back, y'all. It seems like we have so many linebackers. He might be the odd man out, and they might let him go. I would like to sign him back on a good deal, a reasonable deal. But man, that linebacker room, it's gonna be a fight. Nick Kwiatkowski, he's 29. I think we let him go. Nate Landman, he's 24. He's shown some good things. D'Angelo Malone, when is he going to get in there and do something? I mean, he's done a little bit, but he's 23. This will be his second year. Then you got ATL.GA.FAITHFUL. He's 24. I had really high hopes for ATL.GA.FAITHFUL, and he's made a couple splash plays, but no consistent pressure. You know, so I don't know what they're going to do with him. And then Michael Walker, he's 25. At first, you know, he came in and I feel like a lot of the fan base liked him. And then I feel like he's kind of, you know, slipped off a little bit. So I don't know what they're going to do. I got the guys circled that are starters to me. It's Troy Anderson, Lorenzo Carter, Caden Ellis. If we keep Rashaan Evans, definitely he would be. Dorian Etheridge, he's not circled, but maybe something with him. D'Angelo Malone and ATL.GA.FAITHFUL and Michael Walker. Okay. This comes up to another crazy list. Cornerbacks. Guys, we got a bunch of corners and only Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell are good. And Casey Hayward is 33. I think he turns 34 this year, and he's just coming off a shoulder injury. So I'm surprised we did not sign a nice free agent corner. There were some out there that we could have got on a reasonable deal. So that automatically leads me to think, unless they do something in free agency that we haven't seen yet, that we might be going with Alberto's guy, Christian Gonzalez, with our 8th overall pick if he's there. Possibly Witherspoon, Devon Witherspoon. But let me list off our corners right now. We got D. Alford. I like him. He's 25. I like D. Alford. Cornell Armstrong, they signed him back. He's 27. He made a couple good plays. He got burnt like toast a couple times. I mean, a good bit of time. Rashad Fenton came over from the Chiefs. I thought he might be a nice addition. I don't think he started. Mike Ford, he's 27, and I'm, you know, special teamer. Javelin Guidry, I don't know who that is. He's 24. Darren Hall, he's 22. Real cool guy. Like, talked to him for a second, met him, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I need his play to step up a huge amount, you know, but he is like our reserve corner, Darren Hall. Matt Hankins, 24. Excuse me. Casey Hayward, like I said. Dylan Mabin, he's 25. Jamal Peters, he's 26. John Reed, he's 26. We all know AJ Terrell, he's only 24 still. They got Avery Williams listed as a corner, but he's more on the running back side. So Avery Williams is essentially that kind of like smaller scat back guy, but I want somebody faster and more shifty. So those are our corners that we got on the roster right now. I know they were meeting with a guy, Mike Hughes, was a former first-round pick for the Minnesota Vikings at corner, but he's had a lot of injuries, and he just never made it as like a starting corner, so he's more just a depth piece if we sign him or not. But anyway, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 corners on the roster right now. So the people, the corners that I got circled: D. Alford, Darren Hall, Casey Hayward, AJ Terrell. Okay. I don't know why I circled Cornell Armstrong, but I did for some strange reason. Safeties, rolling right along. Safeties, we got Micah Abernathy, who's 26. I have no idea who that is. Jesse Bates, we know he's going to come in and he hopefully is going to set the tone for our defense and get this thing rolling in the right path. Richie Grant, he's 25. I like Richie Grant. My son says that he ain't going to be the same after he took that stiff arm from the Steelers running back, Najee Harris. My son says after that stiff arm, Richie Grant ain't gonna be the same. I hope that's not true. Richie Grant, prove my son wrong. Ball out. We still got Eric Harris on the roster. He's 32. Jalen Hawkins, he's 25. What does this mean for Jalen Hawkins and Richie Grant with Jesse Bates coming into the picture? One of them, Richie Grant or Jalen Hawkins, is probably going to move to that slot corner, that nickel corner, because Isaiah Oliver's gone. And I'm cool with that. I think Richie Grant or Jalen Hawkins can play that slot position and play it well. We still got Javonte Moffett on the roster. He's 26. And those are our safeties, y'all. And then, we got Younghoe Koo as our kicker, Bradley Pinion as our punter, and Bew Brinkley and Liam McCullough as our long snappers. So, off the top of my head, I just threw this stuff together. Our defense, we don't know if it's going to be, it's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be some 3-4, some 4-3, some nickel, some dime, sub packages. We all know that, you can run a defense multiple ways. But the way I'm looking at it, if we run a 3-4, I'm guessing it's going to be Grady Jarrett, Onyemata, and either Taquan Graham or AK. Those three guys on the line. And then the four linebackers, Lorenzo Carter, Troy Anderson. I'm thinking that Caden Ellis is going to be a starting linebacker. And then either AK or D'Angelo Malone. It's hard to say. I don't know if Ogundeji is going to fit in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be interesting. And then, hopefully we'll have Casey Hayward on one side, AJ Terrell on the other side. Jesse Bates is going to be back there with either Richie Grant or Jalen Hawkins. So that's okay. And we also got D. Alford to roll in there and spell somebody if we need to, and Darren Hall. But if we run a 4-3, that's kind of where it gets interesting, Let me see in my notes. What are we pushing up on? Man, we're almost pushing up on 30 minutes. If we run a 4-3, are we putting Lorenzo Carter and Arnold Ebiketie on the two ends? And that's why I say, like, AK and Lorenzo Carter, they're almost big enough to be traditional defensive ends in a 4-3 scheme, but not quite big enough, So it's like they're more like really big, fast outside linebackers more than they are like big, powerful defensive end pass rushers, okay? But I guess we put Lorenzo Carter and AK on the ends, Grady Jarrett and Onyemata in the middle. Then, you'd have Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis, and D'Angelo Malone as your linebackers. Michael Walker, he could slide in there anywhere too. I just don't know if we're keeping him or what we're doing with Michael Walker, but he might be in there instead of D'Angelo Malone. And then who knows if we're going to keep Rashaan Evans. But yeah, that's how I would run it if it was 3-4, 4-3. Those are the players that I would have in there. Yeah, so positions of question. Our center, I guess we're just going to roll with Dahlman because you're not going to draft like a rookie center to come in and play center. And it doesn't look like we're making any more moves for like a veteran center. So we're going to have to roll with that. Wide receiver. Like, I wish the Falcons would go out and sign Mecole Hardman. Doesn't look like it looks like we took Mac Hollins for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm scratching my head on this stuff, guys. Um, I wanted some more corner depth, and I wanted the Falcons to go get Rock Ya-Sin, but I don't think they're going to make any more moves. I mean, I hope they do. And then, the only edge out there, there's two really, but I don't see the Falcons signing either one of them. Yannick Ngakoue, which is another guy that's more built like an outside linebacker. Yeah, he's a pass rush specialist, but he's not a true defensive end, and that's what we're looking for. And then there is Frank Clark. I think he's 29, but I don't know if he might be good to bring in if we could from the Chiefs, get him on a reasonable, like 1 year, 2 year deal or something, to kind of show these guys what it takes to win a Super Bowl. But yeah. So anyway, that's what I got for y'all on the roster breakdown, who we got and what's going on with the signings and free agency. I'm going to go ahead and drop my latest mock draft and explain how I would fill the positions that I still think we have question marks at. Left guard is another question mark. So y'all go ahead, check this mock draft out. If you stayed this long, salute to you. I got a lot of information to get out, and I want to keep everybody informed. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Let me know what you think of the mock draft. Drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like, share, subscribe, all that, I do want to get my channel bigger so I can do some like lives and stuff like that and chop it up with everybody at the same time. Anyway, here's that mock. Okay, so first off, this draft is assuming Christian Gonzalez is still there at 8. Obviously, in this mock, Tyree Wilson was gone. Jalen Carter was gone. Will Anderson was gone. But if Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson, or Jalen Carter is there at 8, you might have to take them there, okay? If we're going to focus on our pass rush, I would take any one of those three guys. And I think all three of them can change a franchise and be a formidable pass rusher. But they weren't here, so what do? I take Christian Gonzalez because he is there. And if he's not, Witherspoon's going to be there. So we immediately address one of our weak positions at corner and have, two great starters, A.J. Terrell and Christian Gonzalez, plus Jesse Bates back there, and we're good. Then I took Isaiah Foskey. I don't care about the grades that I get on PFF. I'm just going by what I see. And I think Isaiah Foskey is a true defensive end. I think he had like 10 sacks, 11 sacks or something like that 2 years in a row. And I just think he's a baller, so I would take him there. Then, we got to address wide receiver. So I'm taking A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. Falcons Empire. That's my dog over there. He took him in his latest mock, and I agree with them. I might have mocked him before. I can't remember, but check out his highlights. He would be a great number 2 wide receiver in my opinion. Then I'm going back to K.J. Henry. I'm adding another edge, which I think could do damage, okay? I think K.J. Henry is a beast. Then I took another wide receiver, Trey Palmer out of Nebraska. He's not so big. I think he's like 6'1", 180 or something like that, but he ran a 4.3 at the combine. And we need somebody to take the top off this defense. So I grabbed Trey Palmer there. Then I grabbed a guard out of North Carolina State, Chandler Zavala. If you look him up and do a little research on him, I think if we could get him in the 5th round, I think it's a steal. And I think he could provide some depth on that starting line or on that line and maybe even crack a shot at the starting job. Then I added my scat back, halfback from East Carolina, Keaton Mitchell. He is a baller. He's quick. He's fast. He can catch the ball out the backfield and make big plays happen. So I got him. Then I stuck with my guy that I've been pounding the table for in the later rounds. If he's there, we take him, Devonsha Maxwell. I believe he's from Georgia. He played at Chattanooga, but he has the size to move inside or outside on the defensive line. Then I added another corner in the late rounds, Miles Brooks. He's a good corner out of Louisiana Tech, possibly another sleeper steal in the late rounds. He's got good size. I think he's like 6'2", 190, something like that. And we need depth there. So with free agency being how it is, if we're done making moves, this is how we address our weak spots in the draft. And if we hit something like this, we're good to go. Okay? You get a top-notch corner in the first round. If you want a top-notch defensive end in the first round, you take them, and then you take a corner in the second round, the best available one. Then we can still add some good wide receivers in the third and fourth round, and another good pass rusher. Okay, we can get a guard for some depth. We can get a good halfback to add to the running back room. And then, another defensive interior guy and another corner for some more depth. That's what I got, man. I'm going to end this video like I end all my videos. Thank God works. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. 1.